Hello, good evening. My name is Natisha Little, and this is my part two of the assignment for the disposition of self-survey. So just kind of briefly, just talk. The first question on here is about what dispositions do I possess, and pretty much a lot of them I do possess. I definitely possess high expectations. I definitely go in with high expectations of knowing that each and every one of my students will be successful by any means necessary. I have high expectations in my gifts and talents, so that I know that what's inside of me is definitely needed. I do have respect for diversity of others. I definitely understand that each student are different, and they're wonderful and they're unique in their own way, and so they learn differently. So it's up to me as a teacher to make sure that I meet them on their level and help them be successful. If it's something difficult for them, I have to make sure that I come up with a strategic strategy to help them understand and comprehend what I'm teaching so that they can be successful just as well as a student that maybe can grasp what I'm teaching at the first go around. Honestly, I really believe in being honest. I believe in being honest with myself, and not putting too much stress on myself. If there's some things that I'm able to do, that I'm able to do. If not, then I'm gonna be honest and say, you know what, I'm not able to do that. However, I have somebody else that has the ability of doing it. I believe in being honest with my students. I don't believe in sugarcoating anything. I always believe in letting them know what they do great and what can be better. I'm very courteous. I'm very courtesy of all of my students and their abilities to each and every one. I treat my students like family. I teach my treat my colleagues like family. I'm definitely make sure I'm very respectful and respect each other's property and their time and everything. So I'm very courteous. I conduct a professional. I'm very professional. My conduct is very professional. I definitely make sure that when I'm interacting with my students and with other teachers that I am very professional. Of course, I like to have a good time because I want learning to be fun, but I also make sure that I'm abiding by being professional and providing being the best teacher that I possibly can be for my students and being the best colleague I can be for other teachers. Um, Dedication. I am very dedicated. I'm telling you, this is my absolute passion. I love children. I love to make a difference in their lives. And one reason why I chose to actually do elementary is because I believe if you can catch the students when they're young, then they're able to go on, teaching them the simple math and basic reading and everything like that, getting them right where they are and finding out what is difficult to them, what is easy for them will prevent so much in the future. So they will be able to leave fifth grade excel in sixth and middle school and high school as well. Um, so there's a lot of things that I possess. I really take my profession seriously, and I definitely want to make sure that I make a difference, not in just in my students' lives, but make sure I make a difference in my own life. Another thing is what dispositions do you need to work on before you enter the classroom as a first year teacher? Well, I actually am a teacher. I'm teaching right now, so a couple of things that sometimes I can be a little lenient. Sometimes I might display too much compassion, and I don't think all the time that works out for me. Sometimes it might be read wrong. So those are a couple of things that I definitely need to work on. How does the disposition demonstrate your ability to understand other cultures, genders, and learning differences, and build stronger relationships with students and families? How do potential bias affect teaching? Well, this is the thing with me. I am actually mixed race. I'm African American. I'm also Cuban, so I definitely understand being in an environment where everybody's not the same. Nobody even look the same. So my thing is making sure that I again make sure that everybody is comfortable, and do go the extra mile. I can speak Spanish, but I might have a student in my classroom that speaks French. So it's just about me, being willing to do my part to help them the best way I can, and not just saying, oh, I don't understand that or this, but as a teacher, making sure that I do everything that I possibly can to make sure that each one of my students again are successful. The other part is learning differences to build stronger relationships. Well, I'm very big about building rapport. One thing that I do when I go into the classroom, I try to make sure that my student understands that the reason why I'm there is to love and to teach, and to protect. Those are the three things. I'm not there to yell, scream, or anything like that. So I believe in building a strong bond with my students because I want them to trust me. I want them to trust and know that I'm going to do what's best for them. I want them to trust to know that I'm going to take care of them the best way that I possibly can. I'm going to provide them with the best education, and I'm going to make it fun and interesting for them because I'm a strong believer that learning should be fun. It should be something that you want to do, not something that you just have to do and you're boring, you know. So I'm real big about that. Another one is the last question is how do you anticipate using feedback from your annual performance evaluation observations and data on student performance to adjust your dispositions and teaching practices and benefits of learning? Well, I am a real big believer about getting feedback. If there's something that I can do better, I want to know, and I always apply it. Just like, if a teacher tells me, hey, you're doing excellent in this. However, I think if you try this, it'd be a little bit better. So I'm real big about feedback. I want feedback. I'm not a person that runs my that wears my feelings on my shoulders. I'm a person that really strives to be the best on my level. I don't try to be the best on anybody else's level. I try to be the best on my level. And then the annual reviews. When my principal comes in, I want to be that teacher that stands out. I want that teacher. I want to be that teacher that's a role model to other teachers. So I try my best to go into my classroom, be on time, make sure my classroom is always presentable, make sure that my students are engaging just in case somebody walks by or anything like that. But I always and make sure that my students are learning. I'm real big about feedback from my students. Going over something that I'm learning, teaching in class, and at the end of the day, going back over it to make sure that they understood and they comprehend what I was teaching. So I definitely want to be that role model. I really do, and I take on that responsibility because I know that that's inside me. I know that the passion that I have and the compassion that I have for children is deep, and they give me life. So my job is to make sure that I am, like I said, giving them the best that I possibly can be. Feedback from other teachers. I definitely want that. During the time that I was subbing as a second grade teacher for the whole entire school year, I had a teacher that I worked hand in hand with. She was my mentor. And any area that she saw that I was lacking in or wasn't giving my best, she corrected me because I believe that you should do that because I can't expect my children, my students, sorry, to give me their best if I'm not. So that is my submission. I know I'm a little over my time, but I want to make sure I submit this, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.